Yo, what is going on, homies? It's your boy Stumped back for another Optc video, and in today's video, hopping into the new Clash that's over here on the global side of the game that is Clash Marco. So first of all, I do want to apologize for the late release. Today got so crazy with work, and it was just an absolute nightmare with lockdown and stuff like that. So I do apologize that these teams are a little bit rushed, but I did want to get some teams out for you guys, and in today's video, I do have 4 teams to do that. Now, unfortunately, they're not, like I said, I didn't have the most time in the world to actually put this together. It's quite late here in Australia, me putting this video together. So, if you don't mind, go down there and smash the like button for me. If you're new to the channel, hit the big red subscribe button. I appreciate the hell out of you guys for all the support, and I can't thank you guys enough. But hopefully these teams help you guys out. I do have 4 teams for you guys, like I said, in today's video. But let's have a quick look at what the unit actually does first. So, Marco will be a trusted character in August. He is a dex unit, and his special removes 5 turns of burn and recovery down. He's going to boost slot effects by 1.75 and make it much easier to land perfects. He then heals the crew based on the number of free spirit characters on the crew. 20% of max healing, maximum of 70% if you have 6 free spirits. His captain ability, who really cares, to be honest. And other than that, that's basically about it. So we can quickly head over to Marco and actually have a proper look at what he does. As I mentioned, he is a dex unit, so let's actually do that. With his support, it's just stats, so we really don't care about that at all. And then with his limit break, he actually gets pinch healing, he makes recovery, strength, and T&D matching, and he has slot blind removal as well. So, fairly decent free-to-play unit, pretty niche. I don't really see how much play this unit's actually going to get. But obviously, like all free-to-play units, he's going to see some play in treasure maps. So, as I mentioned, guys, I do have 4 teams for you guys. The first team's actually utilizing Double Roger, and the team looks a little bit like this. I do imagine Law is replaceable with something like Wano Law, but you might struggle a little bit on the Vista stage. You really don't want to take that paralysis, otherwise your supports will actually trigger, and then that sort of ends your run, as Bardo, Corazon, and Rayleigh are all very, very important for paralysis removal on the final stage. The next team is utilizing Double Sugar. This team was a little bit hit or miss. It took a little bit of brain power, and I do apologize for that, but it does work quite well, and it is pretty solid team. So if you have the units and you're looking to use it, the notable supports are obviously Kuma and the Usopp from the 20th anniversary, as well as the free-to-play Paraspero. The next unit we have is Double vs Akainu. This particular team revolves around the Mr. 4 support, so if you don't have that, it's going to be very, very tricky. But the Mr. 4 support helps out a lot. It does have a lot of free-to-play units on this team as well, but Lafitte is also another very, very good support that you do need for this team to function. The final team is utilizing Double Magellan. I do have Kaido on this team because I do believe this team should work with a Kaido hybrid. We have Bellamy with his double special activation, and other than that, there's no real finicky supports. If you can bring a friend Magellan, he's going to help you guys out significantly, as he can just get around paralysis with his amazing captain ability, just completely removing 10 turns of paralysis, which is really, really nice. So, as I mentioned, I do have 4 teams. So you guys, once again, apologies for the late upload. And if you guys have any questions, please don't hesitate to leave them in the comment section below. Hopefully, I'll get another video out for you guys, or chime in the stream in 2 days' time. We can build some more teams if you guys are really struggling. But like I said, let me know in the comment section. With that said, let's dive in. Alright, so for the first team, we're utilizing Double Roger. So this is the team. These are the supports. Let's hop on in. Alright, so we're over here on stage 3, and on stage 3 we come up against Vista. Now, Vista's just going to give us a full board of unfavorable slots, and if you don't take him out on the first turn, he's actually going to give you paralysis. He also gives you extra damage, but with Limit Break, you should be able to get rid of that, so you don't have to worry about it too much. But the key to this particular team is actually the Aura Jackson. Aura Jackson makes it easier for us to hit perfects, and with Barrier Pen on our Odin, we can actually get around stage 2 very, very easily. On this third stage, we're going to use the super typing of Roger. Basically, that's just going to give us a full board of orbs, and with that, we should be able to take out Vista. Make sure to attack with your quick units last, namely the Luffy and the Law. That way, you can sort of just maximize your damage, but with the Aura Jackson allowing us, making it easy to hit perfects, you shouldn't have too much issues with that particular stage, provided you do have at least 2 quick units. On to stage 4, we come up against Jozu. Now, Jozu's going to do a HP cut or damage on entry, so you really want to make sure you don't have that double damage, otherwise you're going to take a lot. You get he puts up 5 turns of threshold and 5 turns of damage reduction, so this is where we're going to use the special of Robin. Robin's going to remove the threshold and the damage, the defense up, And then we can actually use the other Roger super typing. With the Roger super typing, we can give ourselves a full board of favorable orbs. And you boys know what comes next. We're going to use the Odin special to get Wano orbs, give ourselves an orb buff to our free spirit, our slashes, and our strength units. And then we can actually extend that orb boost with the Roger special. Pretty basic stuff when it comes to utilizing Roger. And as you can see, like, it just does so much damage for stage 4. Once we do take out Jozu, however, he does actually a 10 turns of paralysis to our entire crew. And then we can move into the final stage. Once we hit the final stage against Marco, he is a strength unit who gives us 6 turns of binds, which will go down to 3 respective to your sockets. He gives us, I think, 3 turns of despair, or it might be 5 turns of despair, and it goes down to 2 with sockets. Something like that. He actually gives us despair, but with Roger, we don't have to worry about it. It just goes away, which is great. But with the supports of Rayleigh, as well as Corazon and our Luffy and our Law, as well as Bardo on our Robin, we can not only remove all of the bind, Roger removes the despair, but we can remove pretty much 7 turns of paralysis. We can then finish it off with the Aura Jackson. Aura Jackson's going to remove the final 2 turns. And with that, we're pretty much in good stead here. We're just going to finish it off with a Roger special. Alright, and with that, we can basically extend the orb boost once again, give ourselves an attack buff, and with that, we should have enough damage to actually take out Marco here. We do have color affinity on our Roger with the support of Vivi, so that does help out a little bit for our free spirit units, but you ideally want to try and save an orb on Law if you can. The big reason we actually want to save a Wano orb on Law is when we use the Luffy special on this particular turn, he's going to rotate our orbs and give himself a quick orb, which is really nice, as well as give us color affinity. We can then use our Law special. Law's actually going to rotate some orbs into favorable, so he might rotate his own orb into favorable. I might be wrong there, but he's going to give us a chain buff as well. And once we do take out Marco, he actually has that revive mechanic, and then just with all of our units here, we can easily take out Marco, no issues whatsoever. So double Roger getting it done once again with the help of some handy supports. But let's move on to the next team now. Alright, so on to the next team now. We're utilizing double Sugar. So this is the team, these are the supports. Let's dive in. Alright, so we're over here on stage 3, and we come up against Vista. Now, against Vista, he's going to give us a full board of unfavorable slots, as well as 5 turns of double damage. But with the support of 20th Anniversary Usopp, we can actually rotate all those unfavorable orbs into recovery orbs. And with Jewelry Bonnie as a sailor, we can actually turn those recovery orbs into matching. What we're then going to do is we're actually going to utilize our... No, actually, we're not going to utilize a special. We're just going to attack. We're just going to utilize those matching orbs. And because we have a full board of orbs, we should be able to... Well, not a full board of orbs, but our quick units have orbs. And that's all that matters, is they have color affinity. They should be able to take out Vista easy peasy. And then we can move on to the second last stage against Jozu. Against Jozu, he does a bunch of damage on entry, which is really annoying, because we have that double damage debuff. He puts up 5 turns of defense up and threshold as well. So we can actually remove that with the Robin special. Robin's also going to give us a full board of orbs, but that doesn't matter too much, as we're actually going to get rid of those and get rainbow slots with our Shirashari. Now, Shirashari has the support of Perispero. That's going to lock our cerebral characters' orbs. We're then going to use the special of Jewelry Bonnie to get the carrier effect for our quick units. And then we're going to use the Perona special to actually give us 3 turns of damage reduction. That's going to be very handy on the final stage against Marco. What we're then going to do is we're going to turn everyone into bears, but we're going to save the Sugar super typing until the next turn. We're then going to use the Sugar's tap timing, I guess is the best way to put it, and then that should take out Jozu. Now, ideally, you want Bonnie to be the last hitter, as that way you can actually save the most amount of rainbow orbs, ideally on all of your quick units. So it does work out very nicely with the placement that you do see on the screen, provided Jewelry Bonnie is in the bottom left and Shirashari is in the middle right. Once we do come up to the final stage against Marco, he is going to give us a 7 turns of despair, he gives us, which goes down to 4, and then 3 turns of bind, as well as getting 9 turns of paralysis from the previous stage against Jozu. With Kuma's support, we can actually remove the despair, and then we can just use the super typing of Sugar. Because Sugar doesn't have to worry about bind and paralysis and all that nasty stuff, we can actually just sort of tap through all those nasty defects and actually kill Marco. But you ideally want to make sure that you have enough rainbow orbs, as he actually gives you a full board of empty orbs. Very, very important that you do have those orbs, and with the damage reduction that Perona can provide, we can actually tank the death hit once we take out Marco. Once Marco revives, though, he is going to come back with half his HP and auto heal. So this is where we're just going to use the other special of Sugar to turn everyone else into bears, and then use our Sugar super typing to give ourselves an orb buff. Ideally, with this particular team, you should still have a rainbow orb on your Shirishiri in the bottom left hand corner. If you get lucky enough to get one on Jewelry Bonnie, it's going to help out a lot. But just with that Shirishiri orb, you should have enough damage to take him out, provided you got lucky enough to just get one other orb on your quick unit. So, not the most reliable team that I've built, but like I said, these teams are quite rushed, and I do apologize for that, but look, life gets in the way sometimes. Then let's move on to the next team now. Alright, so moving on to the next team now, we're utilizing double versus Akainu. So this is the team, these are the supports. Let's hop in. Alright, so we're already over here on the Vista stage. This team actually just tears through it so quick, and as you make your way through this content, you ideally want to just start building up the versatility of Versa Akainu, as you do really want to get that that versatility popping by ideally this particular turn, or like a little bit into this turn. Now, I did have the support of Mr. 3 here, but that is not essential whatsoever. You basically just want to sort of get to the point where you can actually use one of your Versa Akainu specials next turn. So I got here a little bit prematurely. I got a little bit unlucky with the cool countdowns of the enemies that you face along the way, and because I'm not going to be able to kill Vista on this very first turn, it means he's actually going to give us paralysis on my middle 2 units. But that's not that big of a deal, as I actually just have damage reduction as well, so I am just going to hang out here for a little bit longer. If you don't kill Vista on the next turn, he actually gives you more paralysis. He actually gives it to you on your bottom row units, I'm pretty sure it is. But it's really not that big of a deal for this particular team, as once we do take out Vista on this particular turn, we can move on to the next turn against Jozu. So once we enter the stage against Jozu, he actually does a damage, or like a HP cut. I think it's just damage on entry, and he puts up 5 turns of threshold and defense up. Because he does damage on entry, he actually applies the burn mechanic to himself, which is great because he actually has full immunity as well. So as I mentioned, you want to make sure that you ideally have your friend versus Akainu special here. That way you can give yourself a full board of quick orbs, as well as making those quick orbs matching with the verse ability of Akainu. And then we're going to remove the defense up in the threshold utilizing the Kazuna Dofi special. Kazuna Dofi ideally should extend the chain lock, but he also has the support of Smoker. With the support of Smoker, he's going to give us extra damage for our quick units, giving us a 1.75 times attack boost, and with that we should be able to take out Jozu here easy peasy. Literally just with the versatility of Akainu and his special, we just have so much damage and we can absolutely decimate good old Jozu. Once we hit the final stage against Marco, we get 9 turns of paralysis on Jozu's death, we get 7 turns of despair and 6 turns of bind, which will go down by 3 respective to your sockets. But with the support of Lafitte on our what's his name? Shiryu, we can remove 2 turns of the bind and despair. We then have the support of the new Mr. 2, I think it is, or Mr. 4 on our Akainu to remove 2 more turns of bind. We can then remove 5 turns of paralysis and despair with our Buggy special. We can then remove the rest of the paralysis with our Jumanji special and give our powerhouse units an attack buff, namely our Versa Akainus. We can use the Versa Akainu Versa ability, I should say. And with all of that, we basically have enough damage to take out Marco. But we do have to remember Marco has a revive mechanic. So we are going to use the Shiryu special to give us 3 turns of damage reduction, as well as a bunch of healing, which is a little bit nice. Or he removes poison or something like that. And with that, we're basically just going to attack here, and we should be able to take out our boy Marco easy peasy. Now, remembering with Marco, he does have a revive mechanic, however, but the beautiful thing about the versatility of Akainu and the burn, as well as his special, giving us 2 turns of orb boost, 2 turns of chain lock, we have 3 turns of damage reduction, and we still have that conditional boost. So as long as we do keep an orb on our Akainu, we should be in good stead here to actually take out Marco on the revive. We also have a bunch of matching orbs with our sailors, which is great, and we can easily say goodbye to Marco easy peasy. So unfortunately, you do need the new Mr. 4 support to make this team work, but it does work very, very well, and it is fairly fast. Let's move on to the final team of the video now, utilizing double Magellan. And moving on to the final team of the video now, we're utilizing double Magellan. So this is the team, these are the supports for the last time. Let's dive on in. Alright, so on to stage 3 now. We come up against Vista once again. He gives us a full board of unfavorable orbs and 5 turns of double damage. We should be able to remove that with Limit Break though. Really nice that they did add that. And all we're going to do on this particular stage is actually just use one of the super typings of our Magellan. The big reason we want to do that is if you don't actually take out Vista on the very first turn, he just gives you 2 turns of paralysis on your middle units or your bottom row units. And with Magellan as our captain, we don't really have to worry about that. I do love me a captain that has utility built in. It just makes life so much easier when you are team building. So we cop the 2 turns of paralysis. Magellan gets rid of that. And another really good thing about Magellan actually removing that is this particular stage can be a little bit finicky if you do bring supports to remove that paralysis, especially on the final stage with the 10 turns. So it's just really nice to have Magellan to not even worry about that. So if you can bring a friend captain, I would try and ideally put him on the team somewhere. And that's why I want to include Kaido on this team, because I imagine you could hybrid Kaido with Magellan fairly well. On the next stage, we come up against Jozu, who puts up 5 turns of defense up threshold and full immunity. He gives us normal attacks only, and he is a strength unit, which is great for our team because we're using all quick. We're going to remove the defensive effects with Kuzan and give our shooter characters a 2 times attack boost, which is namely our Magellans as well as no, Chiffon is not. Mainly our Kuzan and our Magellans. And then we're actually going to use the special of one of our Magellans. Now, Magellan actually has double special activation, and he's the first legend to do so, but he actually also gives us color affinity, rainbow color affinity, which is really, really nice. Finally, we're going to wrap it up with Bellamy because he also has double special activation. Bellamy's also going to make some more orbs matching for us as well, and with that, we can just absolutely say goodbye to Jozu, no issues whatsoever. Once Jozu dies, however, he gives us 10 turns of paralysis, which will go down to 9 on preemptive. But because we are using Magellan, we don't have to worry about that. He gets rid of all of that paralysis. Super, super nice. Once we hit the Marco stage, he gives us 7 turns of despair and 6 turns of bind on our crew members, which will go down by 3 respective to your sockets. But the beautiful thing about using Magellan is Magellan can actually remove those 3 turns of bind. So by not only removing the paralysis, he can actually remove the bind as well. And because he has double special activation, he applies poison. Marco doesn't have full immunity. And because there's poison, we actually get a 2.5 times rainbow attack boost, which is super, super nice. We can then use the Chiffon special to remove the despair, give us a full board of orbs. We can get a orb boost with the other Bellamy special, as he does have double special activation. And with color affinity, an attack boost, and an orb boost, we shouldn't have any issues taking out our boy Marco here. Once we do take out Marco, however, he does do like a death hit. It is around 27,000. 25,000 depending on your defense sockets. But once he revives, he comes back with half HP and auto heal. This is where we're going to wrap it up with our Kaido special, giving us a full board of orbs, as well as utilizing the Smoker support to give us an attack buff. We can then get color affinity once again with our Magellan, and with that we can say goodbye to Marco once again and just wrap up this particular piece of content. So it works very, very nicely. So there you guys go. That was my Clash Marco playthrough. Hopefully it helped you guys, and I do apologize once again for the late release, as well as the teams being a little bit rushed, as, look, work in real life sometimes comes first. Well, most of that should come first, right? And sometimes it can get in the way. But I hope you guys enjoyed this one anyway. If you did, make sure to belt the like button for you if you're new to the channel. Hit the big red subscribe button too. But guys, wherever you are in this beautiful world, please remember to enjoy the rest of your day. As always, homies, I thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Lights!